hormonal changes. Recently, this news came out that a transgender woman is going to compete in the men's bodybuilding. Right?
Yeah, I think his or her name is Kroc, something in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about that.
To give you a little background, Mr. Kroc was a very popular powerlifter, world record holder, and he transitioned to a woman. Okay, he didn't compete during this time, and now he wants to compete in the men's division.
Okay,
so what's your take on that?
For me, if you ask me, it's a very complex situation. So, most of you guys might and girls might disagree with me, but I think as a lot of athletes are changing their gender from male to female or female to male, and the issue is starting to arise that once you change your gender, then okay, you can go into the female category and you can compete over there, but then there might be issues of muscle mass or maybe stamina if it comes to Olympics or running, or if it comes to powerlifting. There and then and there, you will find issues, and this is what happened actually with one or two athletes also. Like I feel like, you know, Numan, transgender athletes, I think, in my opinion, should be given a separate category.
You mean they should have their own leagues?
Exactly. Because on the safe side,
see, here's the thing. I can understand the argument if a man who is transitioning to a woman is competing in a women's sport. You know, what I don't understand, but you know, this in this scenario, Kroc was already a man. He transitioned to a woman, so he basically took estrogen.
But right? Now you know what he's saying. Now I just recently, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I recently just read watched a video, and in that video, basically on YouTube, the person was saying that he's Mr. or Miss. He's not claiming himself as a Miss right now. He's calling himself as or herself as a gender fluid person.
Okay.
And gender fluid, basically, you're not assigning yourself specifically to one gender. Okay. Even though he has changed his hormones, he has.
Even no, but you know, I'm talking about strictly the competitive.
Yeah, I'm coming to that side. I'm coming to that side also. I'm coming to that side. So he even did facial surgery to look like a female. Then he even took estrogen hormones. So he did everything according to that. But then now he's changing and he's competing in the males category.
Okay.
So I feel like it's this is my own personal opinion. Okay, you can bash me for that, but I think it's kind of unfair because now,
unfair to whom?
To the males.
What are you talking about, Nabil?
You know why? Because you know you are going, like, you are constantly changing your gender. Because, as I said, he's gender fluid. You're not assigning yourself specifically to one gender.
Okay, but he's not competing in the female category.
He's not competing right now.
Maybe. I mean, okay, I would understand, because if you look at him, if you look at him, you know, he's easily, with the right conditioning, I would say he would easily win, you know, all the major female titles, right? But if you look at him in the males category, I don't see it. I don't see him winning.
No, man, I'm not talking about winning or losing, actually. I'm saying about competing. Right, as I said before, he's claiming himself to be gender fluid. So if he's competing right now, maybe, for example, he's competing right now in the males category in the next competition.
Right.
You never know, maybe after like 6 months later on, he might say, okay, I want to go into the female.
No, but that's fine. I don't understand what your point is about the males having a disadvantage here.
No, I'm not saying specifically males, but even maybe, for example...
You just said that...
I know, I'm saying, but I'm not specified. It was just an example. But for example, I'm saying that maybe, like, you know, right now he's competing in the males category. He might not even win that category or division, wherever he's participating in that one. But maybe in the future, he decides to change, and as he's claiming himself to be gender fluid, maybe he decides to go next month, or after like 6 months later, 8 months again, he says that, okay, I want to go into the female category. I want to participate in that one. Will you stop him then?
Man, it's not up to me to stop him. You know.
I don't.
If you ask me personally,
of course, you cannot.
Listen, if you ask me personally, I have zero problems with him competing in the men's division. If he competes in the women's division, okay, again, this is my opinion. He's free to do whatever he likes. I would not be so supportive, just for the fact that he was a man at some point. Right, so he has naturally more testosterone, and People who read that or watched that Vice video about that transgender powerlifter, they might have some misconceptions about testosterone. Let me tell you, testosterone plays a significant role in
Exactly, yeah,
bone
it does.
density, muscle mass, and all these things.
It does.
So that's why men are stronger than women, in general.
We're not like specifying, but yeah, this is something which
Exactly.
generally.
And if you, I mean, historically, if you look at all the men who transitioned to women and competed in women's sports, some of the, especially the track and field athletes, they were average track and field athletes. Then they come to the women's division and now they're blasting everyone.
Exactly, that's what I was.
But here the case
Yeah.
is different because this guy, okay, he transitioned to a woman, right? He took estrogen, right? So he
Yeah.
took something that's not gonna help him, okay, and now he's competing in the men's division again. Obviously, he looks like someone who's on the juice, okay, and but this is a sport where if he has to excel, he has to take the juice, right?
Yeah.
But taking that estrogen, that might have an effect. That might have an effect on him, right?
It will. Okay, I agree with you 100%. No one, it will have an effect, and the chances are very it's 50-50. He might win the men's category, but once again,